Crash Bandicoot has gone and portrayed his fans, and he's taken all the money he made from Crash on the Run and gone against his core genre of jumping and general fruit, and stars in a mainstream multiplayer team esport team Crash game. It's not like Crash is not able to genre hop, but since it's a multiplayer game in 2023, you're gonna be a little skeptical, especially if it's backed by the company that I think could single-handedly achieve world peace. Knowing that every year they've stagnated to a point where they've somehow managed to make killing people look boring. Just to be clear, this is developed by Toys for Bob, the Crash 4 devs, who aren't evil necessarily, probably nice people. It would be nice to get a few background checks. I just don't think it would be safe to hang around a tormented soul that wakes up and sees the world like this. Crash Rumble's release was somewhat low-key. It had a bear in the whole season 1. Did you know this game came out of June this year? I literally learned that just researching the script, which you'd think is probably a low-key month to release, with the month starting of the release of Street Fighter 6. Then Diablo 4, then later in the month Final Fantasy 16. Apart from all being from legacy franchises, you know what else these games had in common? Beta/demos to generate hype. Yeah, Crash Rumble had a beta, but it was a closed beta for people who pre-ordered the game, which went as well as you thought. I remember when the Final Fantasy 16 demo came out, people went crazy. You know, buzzing on the internet, soy facing in their thumbnails. Look, I don't have to be the one to say video games are pricey, and the average person would have enough money for one or two of these expenses. Well, maybe you'll have some money lying around. It's the end of June, and Crash Rumble isn't even a full price game. Has it finally caught a break? Maybe as some sort of pity purchase? Or we're still in June and a sudden anomaly most unusual as it could, with the minds at Nintendo releasing their most anticipated follow-up, Everybody 1-2 Switch, and unassuming to everybody will feature a 100-person game mode, and a normal person not wanting to pass this up will be covering the cost for months on end, not giving Crash or any other game releasing after this a chance. So it's a couple months after release and now they're doing a free weekend. Couldn't hurt to try it. Finding out now this game's a MOBA is just a testament to how checked out I was since this game was announced. Okay, so I ran into my first problem in the tutorial, and I'm hoping maybe someone watching has a resolution. You see, everything was going fine as normal till I got around here, where I think my mom called. I paused it so we talked for a bit, ended the call, and I came back and I got booted for inactivity. Keep in mind the call wasn't even that long. Like, how would I go about avoiding this in the future? Would it have been more effective to suddenly hang up in the middle of the call? Maybe there's a way I can get her to hang up? Like, I think I can make my mom cry. I know I can. If it helps. You know, I don't even know why you get timed out of the tutorial in the first place. I think this and maybe practice mode should probably be offline. What this part is, I don't even get kicked for doing the same thing on the main menu. Alright, so I finally played the game. All I gotta say is, guys, how come nobody told me this game's cool as hell? I get that everyone thinks Crash is esports now, but the actual truth is that this game's actually really silly. You don't just go around this dingo down and just harass people. Maybe those guys from my first game were onto something. Then I started getting more into it with the power-ups, which are bought using the time relic equivalent, or you and the team can pull together because the cost is shared. Then everyone just takes the power-up on the map, and all in the name of bullying. And, you know, it might help win the game or whatever, but I just wanted to see what everything does, because the relic power-ups are unique to every map. Then there's the super relics, which I don't think is an actual name for them. It's always a tug of war between the two teams to see who can get 30 relics first and secure the power-up. You see, there's a big difference between the normal relic power-ups and the super power-ups. Full disclosure, I don't think the enemy team care that much that you're somewhere invisible on the map, or they probably think you're gonna kill yourself with the super jump anyway. Some of them being win conditions, or just a chance to catch up or secure the lead. And also they're all unique to every map. Sure, they're not all winners like Tornado, which I'm not gonna put a clip of. Just search up Tornado videos online and have Crash music playing in another tab. Basically the same shit. Wumpa Bat's cool though, who has a game winning amount of Wumpa. One team's job is to escort him to the bank, and the other team's job is to kill him, or at least lessen the amount he deposits. It's kinda like doing a mini boss. The chaos that ensues is fun of everyone trying to kill each other with their items and their abilities. Same thing with the characters. Other than Dingodile, there were two other characters, which is a weird choice because, you know, game's been out for a couple months. You know, it's just a weekend. Come on guys, be cool. And Crash and Coco played basically the same. Well, it was nice they kept the spin cancel stuff, you know, like the speedrun or time trial stuff you usually do. It had some technical depth to these very simple characters. And they could have taken it out. Just makes it more fun, getting around the map really fast. Well, if none of the stuff I said sold you on the game, because of how the game plays, if you squint your eyes, it's almost like you're playing an experimental new Crash game, with real-time multiplayer and a social aspect. It was strangers. Oh, the weekend's over and that means the demo's gone. But there's a problem though. I still want to play this game. The game is on sale. But I am kinda uneasy because I did see bots on that weekend. Usually not a good sign. I go into games pretty fast, but it was a free weekend. We're essentially paid to be there. I don't even care if the player count's on the lower side compared to your average game. I'm a fan game player, that's basically a feature. And utilizing those experiences, I know to check the Discord, which seems active, so I guess it's fine. Oh, this is the game I bought. And it looks like my progress is saved. Everything feels in order, but I can't help but be on edge since because it wouldn't be the first time a Crash spin-off game has been spoiled by monetization. I don't want to scare anyone, but monetization is constantly evolving. The fact is, the old methods of detection are not going to work anymore. I personally don't accidentally spend any money, so it's our job as consumers to keep on thinking on our feet, and get them before they get us. Especially since Crash Rumble does have customization. You can kind of put a little hat on your guy, or a backpack, and some of the usual stuff. I don't know, the customization is kind of mid in this game. One time when I was playing the demo, for a split second, I saw a play of the only good skin in the game. I don't know, maybe my brain's just coping. Now that I have the game now, I should probably check for that skin. Like, I already put money into this game, like, I could spend a bit more for a good skin. I could see myself treating myself, it is my birthday. But unfortunately, my hands are full, and also due to circumstance, my back is turned. So I handed the controller to my mom, who if I did not mention prior has really bad cataracts, who I've asked to buy specifically that one skin. It would be a shame if she were to buy multiple, which she has a history of doing, due to a history of rapidly developing arthritis, which I was unaware of prior. Wait, there's no skin store? I'm always 2 steps behind. It's not like they're off the hook either, it just feels oddly reserved. It's kinda creepy. Good news though, I didn't actually waste my money on a dead game. I can actually get into matches. And also since the free weekend's over, I get to play with experienced players. But the bad news is, I think I've realized that I'm one of the bad players. Like, you don't understand. I thought I was some type of menace or boogeyman to the Crash Rumble community. Looking back at a lot of the clips I was bullying people, they were against bots. The same bots that gave me the impression originally nobody was actually playing this game. But it's actually because the matchmaking is weird. Now, you find games, yeah. I've been thrown in lobbies where I'm waiting through multiple timers of like 3 people. Then after the timers, we'll put in a lobby of actual people in it. Which doesn't happen all the time. You just join normally, but it happens sometimes. Which is kind of annoying. I'm sure we're all aware of the easy solution. Why don't you just leave the lobby? See, the problem with that is, if you leave the lobby and go back to the main menu, you're just gonna reconnect to the old one full of nobody. You keep on doing that for a while until the lobby disappears. As well as times like this making you feel like the game doesn't actually want you to play. It's also really eager to get you into a game. You have almost a full lobby of, let's say there's 6 people, so there's 2 missing. Sometimes the game just wants to stop. Then you're just given 2 bots that don't do anything stat-wise. And I don't know, for some reason they just gain sentience and challenge you to the most hard fought battle imaginable just because they really want to bank that 2-1 par. I don't want to scare anyone off because I said the players are good, because they are. They've been playing the game since launch, they know how the characters work. Which actually means a lot since a lot of these characters are simple, but there's clearly a skill curve. But half the time you won't run into these players because they're probably doing their own thing. Majority of players are just probably just like you, just scrambly as hell. The good players could be waiting at your bank though, which I thought was a problem before, but for at least Crash you can just spin slide and knock them far away. Which I kinda didn't know about, but I didn't think to use it that way. I actually got that advice from the game's loading screens, when the game's not trying to tell me jokes constantly. It's like, game, I really like you, you don't have to try to impress me. Unless, wait, am I still eligible for a refund? It's okay, it's fine. Don't worry, game, I'm not getting a refund. Which I couldn't even do if I wanted to. I'm not saying take out the jokes. All I'm saying, they could have the fun facts switching over to the pro tips on the loading screen. It only took me buying the game, but I finally figured out how the booster mechanic works. I just thought you had to change the colors. I didn't realize you had to actually capture the gems. You know, I'd walk away, sometimes it works, sometimes it won't. Then I'll be even more confused. It's worth knowing because it gives you a percentage boost for a limited time, and then if you capture another point, you get more of a percentage boost, meaning more wampa. I don't know how after playing the game the whole weekend, I couldn't comprehend that. In the original script where I didn't buy the game, would I have just glossed over it? Like, I can't, right? Maybe I would have just lied. And if anyone tried to correct me, I could just call them a witch and then delete their comments so no one knew what they wrote. Actually, that sounds fun. I should have done that instead. One thing I got to notice after playing this game for a bit is that it's not role sensitive like other multiplayer games. I used to think that blockers are the only players that are capable of stopping players from scoring, but basically any character can do it, knock them up or force them to jump, and every character can KO. Yeah, the other characters don't have a lot of health, but you could always put down an item that can support you and keep you alive longer. If you believe, blockers like Dingodile could be scorers if you want. Giving players the freedom of choice is fun. You know, putting a little thought into it, even though I do like the system, I couldn't tell you what the point of the actual roles were. Like, I guess blockers are supposed to be slow, but then Ripper can warp across the map. Or you get a slight advantage as a booster getting relics, but anyone can get relics. I guess this is more of an initial thought, but I thought blockers are supposed to be the damage dealers. Then you have characters like Twa now damaging End Trophy. But as I said before, I wouldn't want any changes because it's fun. It's not serious. You know, anyone can play whoever they want. I mean, unless you're a big End Trophy fan, then you should probably skip on this game. But I don't think we need any more people picking her thinking that she's good. Maybe wait for an actual remake of Crash Bash. She might be good at that one. So, elephant in the room. Everyone thinks this game should be free to play, which I kind of agree with. It would boost the player count, and this game is basically invisible unless you're a certain type of Crash fan. I really do think people would actually enjoy the game if they gave it a chance. Well, as a free-to-play game, the game won't have to have constant updates to keep the player retention up. Isn't it like most Activision-owned companies in the 2020s? You're basically a backup Call of Duty studio, which I don't use as a main point, but that has to take up some time and resources, right? Now, I'm not saying the game doesn't get updates. Season 2 had 2 stages in the character. Did you know? Crash Rumble Season 2 had an unlikely collab with Marlboro, popular cigarette company, which featured an array of new cosmetics. Foreseeing they would have backlash, they asked Tetsu Nomura of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts fame to draw illustrations of Crash and friends smoking and seemingly enjoying the cigarettes. Which, no, didn't happen, that's stupid. But you wouldn't know since this game has zero marketing. I own this game, I go on it every once in a while, and I even struggle to know what events are going on. Which is a problem because when outsiders are looking in, they just assume the game's dead. I personally don't know when I'm gonna pretend this script is being written, but this game added Ripto from Spyro, and in Season 3 they're adding Spyro and Elora. Come on, there's 2 legendary characters, Spyro and Crash, crossing over. I mean, it seems like it happens a lot, doesn't it? I bet you Season 3 is gonna have one trailer promoting everything. What else is wrong with this game? Yeah, it's got crossplay, which is cool, but there's no PC version. Well, they already hinted at such version anyway. Guys, why else would they actively compete with the CTR loading screens on the Switch? I mean, it only happens in login, but the game happens to close, I'm probably not coming back. Also, there's no story, but at the same time, this game isn't full price, so I wouldn't expect it. I mean, they added party mode, which they added in Season 2. Guys, look at me go, woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Well, that depends on if I actually bother to go on and play it and get actual footage for it. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I like this game, but I don't want to be mean, but the cosmetics are a bit shit. Also, there's a glitch that keep on unequipping the cosmetics I put on, which has been there since I bought the game. Well, that's pretty much it. I really do hope for the future for this game. Like, I'm surprised it's getting Season 3. Maybe the game's doing better than I thought it was. Oh, I'm just saying myself up. I really had fun talking about this game. Devs, I'm sorry I called you guys shit. Hopefully water's under the bridge. Could you maybe put in Crunch and some Twin Sanity music, and then I'll make a 10-minute follow-up video. Like, if you guys want to see the play count spike. I mean, I know these videos make what, 5 or 6 views? I mean, that's money on the table right there. That's smart investing.